Okay, perfect. Okay. So today we are going with you into very powerful, into very strong, into, I would say, life-changing portal. Today, February 17, is not only the beginning of eclipse corridor, it is also a Chinese New Year, so it's the beginning of a new lunar year. For those who've been present on my previous webinar when we were discussing the energies of 2026, today is the day when they actually start. So today is also the beginning of Ramadan, an Islamic tradition in Eastern Maslenitsa. So there are so many things that are happening. And that's what we discussed with you on the previous webinar, because 2026 is not anymore about just knowing. It's about acting. It's about taking actions. There is no more time to be in a shadow. There is no more time to hide from the truth. The time has come to be in wholeness, to be present, to be aware, and to act. And if we look at our experience, any experience, before we label it, when we just strip our life down to its most basic level of experience, you notice that there is no right or wrong. There is no success or failure. There is no just me versus the whole world, or there is no good or bad. There is just the moment of happening. Before our mind says, I like this or I don't. Before our mind turns the experience of our body into a story, there is a simple awareness, alive, present, and complete. At this level, nothing needs to be proven. Nothing needs to be explained. And this is the essence of the magician consciousness. When experience exists before interpretation. The whole our life will live by interpretation, by analysis, by thinking, by reacting. But this year and this moment, especially today, I urge all of you to come to this feeling, to the experience, to the sensation. Because in order of us to know something, we need to have a reflection. And this is how the duality has been created in our world. This is how it appeared. This is how the change, the reflection, the good and bad, the old and the new, the success or failure, right or wrong, right or left, doesn't matter, light or darkness. This is exactly how it has appeared. And it's not a mistake. It is not a fail. It is not a tool of control. This is the essence. This is the instrument of all of us for self-recognition. When one aspect needs to become the observer and the other needs to become what is observed. And from this moment, the sense of me and the world appeared as separation, as the inner and outer, as the subject and the object. Duality was never meant to create conflict. It was meant to help us to learn through the experience. But the problem begins only when we forget that the perception is not the same as the reality. From the perspective of magician, reality is born from the interaction between the light and the vessel. What is the light? It's the impulse of life itself. It's our awareness, it's our movements, it's our intention, it's action, it's a spark. What is the vessel? It is the body. It's the psyche, it's the emotion, matter, it's the reality itself that is capable to receive the impulse. Light cannot exist without form, and form cannot have a life without light given it's an impulse. They are not enemies. They are not opposite that always conflicts. They are one single process. But as humans become immersed in the experience, we begin to reject one side. Some, they tried to be only light. And light, it doesn't always mean good, divine. It's information. It can be strong, it can be control, it can be always correct, dominant, always acting. While others try to be only the vessel, the form. So they come into their energies, emotions. Therefore, they are sacrificing, enduring, dissolving themselves in others. This way, when we choose only one side, the imbalance happens. And when imbalance comes, distortion become. And this is what we see in life, in reality around us right now. This is the way how the material and subtle world are interfering right now. This is the way how reality is shaping us, and we are shaping the reality. When a person denies their emotion, denies their anger, any feeling, they lose the boundaries. But when they fear their own power, they also become weak, because fear takes control. Fear that is created in the mind. When a person feels ashamed of their own desires, they lose their life energy. They lose the force of creation, because their desire start being observed as a shame. And when this happens, when fear and pain are suppressed, feeling itself disappear. And when we not accepting something, it doesn't become as an emptiness. It becomes complete rejection of ourselves. We just stop accepting ourselves for who we are. And when this happens, we go out of control. The burnout appears, chaos arises, our life starts to feel heavy, hostile, like sacrificing, punishing, so on and so forth. Not because the world around is cruel, but because the balance between giving and receiving has broken inside. This is when we meet our shadow, and most of the time we run away from it. We start finding solution to suppress it. Some start drinking, some start taking drugs, some start taking substances, some start overwhelming with them into helping others, but just not facing what is rising and what is inside. But shadow has never been an evil. The shadow is everything that was pushed away just by you. You decided not to leave it. You decided not to feel it. It is a living energy that you yourself have denied to exist. You didn't accept it, but this is a part of you. And when you do not accept your shadow, when you reject it, it starts controlling you unconsciously. And this is when the power from the outer world starts controlling you. And your consciousness suppresses and you become unconscious. And that's why it says that a lot of people are sleeping. They live in illusion. They are dreaming. And when we are awakening, we start acknowledging, we start feeling, we start accepting everything that we have suppressed. That's how unconsciousness becomes consciousness. When we accept our shadow, it becomes our source of strength. But in reality, all the distractions, all the distortions begin when a person wants to see only one half of reality, when we want to close our eyes and not accept the truth, that we want to accept only light without depth, or only shadow without any meaning. But in reality, it is wholeness. And when there is no wholeness inside, the world reflects this through conflict, through loss, through resistance, through wars. We do not see the world as it is. We see it as we are. The truth exists. It's possible to touch, to connect, to know, to feel the truth. But here on earth, it doesn't appear in its pure form. And this is the reality. The only pure truth is eternal, because it is unchanging. It is coming directly from the source. It doesn't depend on a form, on a time, on a language, on a word, on a body, on any circumstances. However, our planet and we are as Earthling, we have a world of forms, of matter, of constant change. Everything is born, dissolves, and transforms. We grow every time, we evaluate every time, we transform. And that is why nothing earthly can be absolute truth. A person may touch it, yes, through insight, through an idea, through meditation, through transcendent state, through deep state of consciousness and awareness. But even then, when you connect it into your reality, it perceived through the body, through language, through the mind, and that way, distortion is unavoidable. A human being is not a truth. If you live in a human body, you will be not an absolute, because you are the matter, you are the vessel. And anything that can be changed cannot be an absolute, because absolute is just the impulse, it's just the light. But what is truly real is what has no form. It's not subject to time and it cannot be destroyed. It is your pure consciousness. It's your source of being. Everything else that you see, that you feel, is only a reflection of this. That's why today, in this magical, in this powerful, and this space between states, we enter this state of truth. And we cannot choose one side or another side in order to go through the portal, in order to create, in order to come to this wholeness, in order to be the absolute, in order to be the magician. We always need to connect and come to the center. Because wholeness is the ability to act and to feel at the same moment, to give and to receive, to see the light without running from the shadow. That calls the maturity. That calls the responsibility. That calls the ability of being a creator, a magician, as somebody who is an embodied of the absolute consciousness. And today, during our healing session, it will be different. It won't be only receiving and giving, it will be living. You will become the magician. You will be sending the state of consciousness into, like, through your mind, through the pineal gland. You will be activating the light, sending the impulse into the world in the right direction, like spiral. It's coming from the above, right? Like a light. You send in the impulse of creation into the world, right direction. And the same moment, you observing, you taking, inhaling in yourself through the left turn, through your heart, through your body, what it is to live in this state. So whatever you create, whatever thought you put, whatever image you create, you will feel it. And that's the only way, when two spirals turning together, that's the only way how you can become into wholeness. Yes, it might bring some resistance because your body will not want to accept certain feelings because you've been suppressing them for so long. But you cannot create the reality without knowing and feeling what it is. And at this moment of our life, with everything that is happening in the outer world, we cannot anymore just sit and wait and observe, because we become the observers of those who are creating what we are living right now. And that's why in this healing session, you will not be healing yourself. You will be healing the whole planet. Whatever your impulse is, of course, it will start first for you, for your personality, because it will come through your body. Maybe it will be to heal from any traumas, suppressed emotions, whatever it is. It will be coming in you. You will be opening up. You will be feeling it. You will be raising it in yourself. But your impulse is to see the world without the fear, to see the world without suffering, to see the world without losses, wars, whatever it is. Because that begins with you. One strong impulse of flight, of consciousness in the human body can change and transform thousands of unconscious bodies living in shadow and fear. This is the real power of magician consciousness. And that can be done. The best can be done for you during such a powerful period of the planet. When we come into the solar eclipse, when the energy of sun goes into shadow, your shadow becomes the sun. Your shadow becomes the light. How is it reflecting to you? Do you feel this strength, this power, what I'm talking about? Can your body feel it right now? Can you already reflect it to yourself? Can you reflect that your thought, that your projection reflects the reality that is happening around you? Just give me some feedback. You can just type it in the chat and message. But tell me, do you feel, does it resonate with you? That in the calm presence, in the middle, where energy flows freely, then the reality stops being that battlefield. When we always constantly fight ourselves, we fight our feelings, we fight our thoughts, we fight our wants, our desires. We constantly fight something, we're constantly trying to prove. But if we just become present, if we just become the observer of ourselves. Yes, I have the goosebumps all over my body, like the energy is rising, unbelievable. Yes, good. And this is where we are going today. I like this answers. Yes, because you feel, your body feel, maybe your mind doesn't understand, but your body knows. Your body feels it because it is the vessel. And consciousness is the light. And the magician consciousness is not born in fears, and it's not born in the power, because magician, he knows or she knows that she is powerful. No, but because magician understands that the fear and death are only illusions of the mind. Death frightens only those who identify the self solely with the body and their role. So that already gives us an unconscious state. We are not aware. We are not aware of the energy. We are not aware of what is happening. For the magician, death is not an end. It is the beginning. It is the purification. And consciousness gradually releases illusions, fear of loss, lies, manipulation, dependence, hunger for power, and recognition. Isn't that what is happening in the world? Isn't that the illusion in what the top of the world controls everyone? And when you realize this, when your consciousness releases these illusions, when the light shines on the darkness, the shadow appears, the pride dissolves. The false myself disappears. All those roles, all those masks, they become seen. You can see through them. Everyone is talking about opening the third eye, and there are so many techniques, and there is so many rituals and practices, and shamans working, and ayahuasca and magic mushrooms, so on and so forth. But what does it mean to open your third eye? That means to become aware, to become conscious, to become aware and conscious about your own feelings, about your own thoughts about who really am I, and see yourself, to face yourself, not in fear, but in love, in acceptance. This is who I am. And give yourself this acknowledgement, give yourself this acceptance. Stop hiding your fragility under the shield, under the armor, because then you show that you do not trust yourself, and this way I cannot trust the world. And when you stop fighting yourself, when this armor disappears, when you put those weapons, and this is like a metaphor, but in reality people use those weapons, but when you put all of that down, what remains is what has always been there. Not a personality, not a role, but your presence, your knowing, your unity. And in this sense, the magician becomes the God, not as an ego, not as the form, but as a conscious unity with the source. That is why the magician doesn't search for truth in forms. They see form as a play of truth. Our life is the play, it's a game. We live in the world, but we do not belong to its illusions, to its duality, to its separation. We step out of duality and the illusion of time because we meet ourselves. We accept the right and left of ourselves. And look, I'm showing you right, but you see it as a left because you see it is the reflection. And such person will always become very uncomfortable for others. Very. Because a healthy, conscious person sees manipulation, sends lies, knows the boundaries, knows what they want and what they will not tolerate. A conscious person will not adjust, will not play roles, will not betray themselves for the comfort of others. Wholeness is very uncomfortable for those who live in distortion. But this is exactly from this discomfort the real strength is born. And this is precisely from this state, I would say, not from searching, not from fighting, not from trying to become someone to prove something, but from clear, grounded and sober presence, we approach the threshold. And today is the moment of complete directional change. If you enter in the state, where you want to prove, where you want to act for yourself, for your personal wants and wishes, it will be a very painful transformation for you. Because any portal, any change happens on a planetary level. As I said, we send the impulse and we feel it and we sense. And the beginning of the eclipse corridor is the entry to a new cycle. And according to the Chinese calendar, is the beginning of a new year. So today, February 17, hello, who's joining? February 17, 1702 is 10. It's a crossroad of time. It's the wheel of fortune, where old structures can no longer hold their shape, but new ones, they still didn't make that form. And it is very unfortunate when we enter such a portal from duality, from either side, but not from the wholeness, not from the center. You cannot cross this threshold while remaining in roles, in fears, or in the illusion of control. This corridor will not let any masks through. And you will see how changes and what changes are coming in the material world. You will see very soon what the governments, what the countries, what those powers that are trying to play certain roles, what crash they will face. They're still trying to hold on their horses so tight and hold people in fears, in control, but the energy has come to destruct all of that, to transform all of that. It is not the one who knows more will enter this portal. It's the one who sees more clearly. Not the one who tries to control the reality, but the one who has stopped fighting it and has begun creating a new one. And in this moment, the consciousness of the magician makes no sudden moves. It doesn't make wishes. It doesn't force intentions. No, it stays present, calm, listening to the source, seeing essence without illusions or masks. And in this state, he quietly acts and changes and rearranges all the lines of the future. The lunar new year speaks of a cycle change. Eclipse speaks of rewriting scenarios. But the essence of this moment is the one. Old forms no longer work. The new doesn't require effort, just alignment. And alignment is not a belief. It is an inner state, acceptance of your consciousness, your light, and your shadow. When you have finally stepped out from duality, when you stopped proving, when you stopped searching for truth outside of yourself, when you don't need that recognition anymore, when you see a form as a game rather than a threat, only then the portal will open, because it recognizes you, because you remembered who you are. And in such transitions, it's not the personality that passes through, it is consciousness itself. This is the moment how you connect with the truth, when you become the absolute, unchangeable, the one who brings the change. And only in this form, the reality begins to respond, and your life changes. Only in this state, you become the magician. And if you're ready for this, I welcome you. I open it for you. If you're already here that means that you are ready. We will walk into this in complete awareness. This session is different. Once again, I will repeat for those who have just joined. This session is different than previous ones when we just connected, when we just felt, when we healed ourselves. No. Today we create, today we act. We already awakened. We already opened our eyes. We don't need anymore to hide. We are not fighting. We are not resisting. We are not showing that we are better, we know better. No, we are showing who we really are, what strengths we carry inside of us. And some of us have very powerful, fiercey, fiery, and this is the fire year of the horse. This is the year of the sun, and today the eclipse of the sun. And in this day, we will show that nothing matters that is in the outer world is real, and that's true. That doesn't matter. What matters is that's what's inside of you. The music will begin very deep, very divine, very connecting to the truth. It will guide you to the darkness through the light. That's why music will help you, because it will have the divine frequency, it will have the divine notes. And by listening to that, your mind will become calm, but your body will be living it through. You will be feeling it. I want you to go into those feelings, into those emotions that you have been trying to suppress, that you've been trying to avoid, that you've been trying to reject and not to accept. Maybe it's your anger. Maybe it's your feeling like, when you say enough, like that's it, I can't anymore. And you were thinking that's, oh, I'm such a bad person if I do, like those judgmental, those objections and perception that you were trying to put with your mind on yourself, when you're trying to divide yourself into good and bad. I want you to go just exactly into that state and accept it, connect it. Don't separate it. You're already separated. For all your life, you've been living in that separation. Today, you go into connection. You go into wholeness. You connect your good side and your bad side. You connect your, such a divine side with your devil side, with your evil side, with your darkness. Because if you do not connect it, the collective outer field will take it, because they don't care. That's the truth. You just have to accept this truth, that nobody in the outer who controls, they do not care. They do not have this feeling of care, because they don't have wholeness. They choose only one side. It's either dominate, it's either control, it's either take over, or to suffer, to cry, to be in pity. And you today will combine them together. And when you come to that state, you will feel the music has changed. The music will start changing. You will be coming from your depth, from your darkness, from inside, through your heart, because you accepted yourself. Some of you might start feeling that the body is like, it's vibrating, because the frequency today will be very, very strong. Everyone is focusing on different rituals, performing outside into controlling the inside. and we are doing different. We are going the other. So there will be resistance, and your body might start feeling it. Like maybe you will even feel like heaviness or something. Perfect. If you don't feel anything, perfect. You just go with your light. Whoever is more connected to the body will feel more. Who is more connected to their thoughts, who is more in their mind, will be limited more through the side of the light. But when you come to that wholeness, when you start feeling that, yes, I accept it, I leave it, I take it, you come into wholeness, you become you come into consciousness of magician. This is when you start activating and living. Only in the state of wholeness when you accept it. If you didn't accept any part of you, any feelings, if you didn't accept the darkness of yourself, if you didn't take your shadow as your power, you cannot come into the mind or into consciousness of magician. It will be an illusion. It will be an ego. You will be feeding the outer world what they are wanting from you. So if you feel that you cannot accept at this moment, at this state, your shadow, if you cannot accept what you've been hiding, what you've been suppressing, the whole healing session, the whole music, you spend time into accepting and seeing the moments of your life when you were betraying yourself, when you were self-judging yourself, when you were not using your energy into creating, but you gave it into others for manipulating. Okay, so spend this whole time into accepting yourself. And if you're ready, if you came to that state, if you stand strong and you know that I know myself, I know what I've been hiding, I know what I've been suppressing, and I'm ready to use it right now, I'm ready to show that you go into the magician conscience, because magician is not afraid. There are no fears, there are no doubts. It's only pure alchemy, it's only pure transformation. And then in that state, you send the impulse through the pineal gland, you activate it with the light, you will feel it. You will start feeling that the light, like it's like sparks, it's the flame, it's not a flame, it's like a ray. It comes, it's activates your pineal gland, and you see how you want to see the world right now. For those who have maybe families in the parts of the world right now that are going through the wars and destructions, you can start sending that impulse, because I know, Helen, you have that power, and like you will get to this point today. You can can send the impulse of peace. You already accepted that anger and transform that anger into creation. Don't support what is already happening or how others are fighting. We are not supporting fight. We are not supporting evil. We are not supporting darkness. We accepting it. Do you see the difference? Do you feel the difference? Yes. Because if we support, we give this energy and we activate it even more. But if we accept it in us, we transform it and we create different. And this force is more powerful. Oh my goodness, I'm all in. Yes, today you will see the changes in the world very, very soon. First, it will be a lot of destruction, yes, but it needs to happen. The volcano is ready to rise. So first it needs to be, the lava needs to cover everything, to destroy everything that needs to be destroyed in order for the life, the truth to come through. So you put that out and you live with your body in. You're the first who are living this through. You are living this first creation. You becoming the architects, the creators of new world, of new life. That's being responsible. That means being mature. That means to be full, present, and whole in absolute, in truth with the source. And trust me, you have all that help. You have all that support. And when we live it through us, then our body, because we walking, we are not as candid. We have this power, we have the strength. With every step we make, we connect with earth, we become this channel, and through us the earth activates and awakens that energy that's been suppressed and that's been taken. So this year, remember my words, we will start seeing a lot of natural disasters, because the earth will be cleaning itself. There will be more destructions, but it's not out of fear. It's not something that we need to fear. It's something that we need to accept as the new cycle for the change. And it is this year. And we are standing on this edge. And we are the one who are chosen. Either we will be the one who will be walking this path and creating and helping and changing, or we will be the one whose energy will be taken and used for more destruction. Because light and darkness will always exist. But right now there is so much imbalance. That's why we see and we experience what we see and what we experience. And we can only affect it when we change ourselves from inside. Outside, we cannot change right now. It's already happening. We cannot. We can change inside to put a new seed for the creation of something new. That's how the magicians work. It's both ways all the time. It's always in the center. It's always in the wholeness. And the year of the wheel of fortune, it's either you spinning the wheel, it's either you setting the rules for the game, or you are the one who will be spinning in this wheel, and you will be playing the rules of others. That's actually the energy that will be on our retreat that will happen in a couple days. And those who are coming, they will be the one who will be changing the world. Tell me if you have any questions, if you already start feeling the energy where we are going. It's not it's not anymore that like when we pet somebody, like we just like everything will be good. Nothing is good right now. Let's face the reality. Everything will be good when we become good, when we become in acceptance, when we become whole, when we accept our strengths, and our strengths is our shadow that we are hiding, when we accept it and when we take it and when we act. If we will be just sitting and doing nothing and just thinking and giving responsibility to others, then everything will be as it is. So today we are stepping into this very, very big transformation and into very big change. I'm very happy for you that you guys joined, because you are the ones who are holding this torch. In what they did in the Olympics, the ritual, I don't know who saw or know, like that ritual I've seen couple months before, not couple, I think it was in December when I saw it, that it's going to happen and how much energy will be used. But today is the time when we take back what doesn't belong to those who doesn't belong. And everyone will always, every action has another action, sub-action, like how do we say it in English? For every action, there is reaction. Here it is. So for every action, there is a reaction. And right now, it is your reaction for your action. Before, if you were living in the position of victim, suppressed, and so like, you know, behind and quiet, today you act. You face yourself. Maybe you're not going further to face the planetary action, situation, but you're going to face yourself. This is your action. For those who are ready for more, you're going into more. Like you already awakened, you accepted yourself, and now I'm ready. Okay. So the music is in group. It's in channel. We will begin in a couple minutes. Just let me know if you have any questions, if you have something to add. I will stop recording and I can just talk to who is here. But for everyone who will be joining later and doing the session later, today is the perfect day. So if you can do it today on February 17, do it today. During the whole time of portal, it's a very good time to activate your inner power, to activate your inner strengths. Today is just very powerful because we enter in it, and those who are ready, subconsciously, maybe you're not aware that it's happening. Today you will be doing some practices, and I'm sure you will come to this alignment. But for those who will be listening to this, I don't even know how to call it, our meeting, I welcome you and I give you all the strengths, I give you all the blessings to come into the magician consciousness, to come into wholeness, to face the shadow, to face the light, and become the creator of the new world. Because there is no wrong or right. There is only presence, and there is only truth, and there is only acceptance. I love you all. When you act from heart, you'll receive the biggest reward. Sometimes maybe you will not see it in the beginning, but then you will feel it and you will know it. See you all there.